My meditation teacher used to say, breathe slowly. What's your hurry? What is the hurry? And not just with our breath, of course, but with our mind zips around, and we often have so much stress in our body and in our mind. We give ourselves this gift of slowing down. And that's such a wonderful gift to give ourselves, to let our breath be calmer and more supportive of good health. So often we hold our breath or we breathe kind of fast. So just to lay our body down or to relax against something or to sit and relax and let our breathing get quiet and slower, it really helps the mind get slower as well. So that's maybe a question that could be fun to kind of leave in the back of your mind. Just kind of return to that. Breathe slowly. What's the hurry? We get into that mode of just not settling. We're driven by that nervous system that's not very sure that it's okay. And a big part of what we do here is to calm our nervous system, to really let ourselves know that it's okay to relax those shoulders, to soften the belly, to let the mind come to rest. Notice what it feels like in your whole body from head to toes. And how often do we take the time to do that? Normally in our life, we might notice something that's calling our attention, like our neck might hurt, or we notice that our teeth hurt because we're grinding our teeth or we clenched our jaw. So we might notice that kind of sensation. Just to take a moment to scan your whole entire body. What's going on in that space? And our senses. What are you hearing? If your eyes are closed, the sense of sight is more at rest. When our eyes are open, we're always bringing in this new information, scanning the environment, making sure we're safe. And then, even with the sense of sight, to rest our attention on something. You could even bring that into your mind's eye right now. There was a beautiful sunset here yesterday, and I just stood for a while and watched it. Oftentimes, there's a beautiful sunset going on, and I'm just like, oh, that's nice. And away I go. It's all about our attention. You rest your attention in your body, you rest your attention in this moment. Notice the back of your body. Some of you know about the vagus nerve, the wandering nerve. It's the biggest nerve in our body. It goes through the gut, through the brain. It's the nerve that we work with alternate nostril breathing. There's a lot of ways that we work with the vagus nerve. So the back of the body is where the vagus nerve that protects us, the primitive part of the vagus nerve, runs through the back of our body. And the myelinated, the more recent part of the vagus nerve runs through the front. So when we relax our shoulders and those large muscles of our back, and we accept the support of the floor, the chair, whatever that is, we're also resting our attention in the back for a moment. So if we're paying attention in the back of our body, kind of stops that outward forward flow of direction, action through the hands, movement through the feet, watching through the eyes. And instead, we're resting our attention in the back of our body, to the back of your head, back of your neck, even the back of your ears, back of your jaw, the back of your skull where your brain rests. From the back of the neck into the large muscles of the upper back, the back of your shoulders, in these mindfulness practices, we also cultivate a kind of an attitude of not wanting something to be other than it is. So if we notice that our neck is tight or our muscles in the back of our shoulders and upper back are kind of engaged, then that's something we can notice. As we notice, we could see if we could let those soften a bit. We could surrender the job of holding ourselves upright. Let your shoulders be soft. And it might be softer relaxation doesn't usually go from 100% tight to 100% soft in a moment. I found it took quite a few months of relaxing my body to really let my shoulders soften, and quite a few years before I feel like I got to a place of really totally relaxed through my back some of the time. But there was definitely softening that was happening. So notice if that's going on for you. Even a little bit, your shoulders relax away from your ears. You let the floor take the weight of your body. And we know that the rib cage is attached to the spine, and then the ribs go around to the front. But when we're breathing and we're noticing the movement of our body with the breath, we more often notice that in the front of the chest. So let your attention come around to the front for a moment and then to the sides as well, mostly in the lower chest, the lower rib cage. Just with your normal breath, without making your breath really full, what do you sense in terms of the movement of your body with your breath? And then take some deeper breaths. And in particular, focus your attention on the back of your body still. What does your breath feel like in the back of your body? And bring your attention around through to the front again and relax the stomach muscles. Let your whole belly soften. And it's only when we're safe that we can relax enough to let the breath get kind of easier and smoother. So, one thing that can help sometimes is to just kind of notice, is there a feeling of safety right now? And part of that is there a threat in the room? Do you need to have your body prepared to protect itself? So, on a very practical level, that's a question that's always being monitored by our primitive brain, our survival system. And there's so many other ways that that comes forward. Does it feel okay to be really resting your attention on the breath? Does it feel all right to be paying this kind of focused attention in that part of the body through the whole back and then into the belly? And notice your arms and your legs, these appendages that bring us through our world and do our action. And then again, we're just kind of looking to see, is it okay for the arms and legs to rest? And what does that feel like? In the arms, you could focus on the shoulders again, the front of the shoulders, the large muscles of the chest that go into the shoulders, into the arms. And down through into your hands, and notice the feelings in the palms of your hands. Usually feels a bit different than the back of your hands. Our hands and fingers, our fingertips are sensitive to touch and texture. Notice what you're feeling through your hands right now. And bringing your attention down into your legs. If you're paying attention to the back of your body, then you'd be noticing those large muscles through your hips down into your thighs, your calves, into your heels. And the large muscles in the front of the thighs, and the knees, the calves, the shins, ankles, the feet, the toes. What's going on in your legs and feet right now? What are the sense perceptions, the touch? Are your legs cold? Are they warm? Do your muscles hurt? What is your sense of the energy in your legs? And notice the top of your feet. Notice the soles of your feet. Notice if there's a difference between the top and the bottom of your feet. And notice each of the toes, because why not? We've got time. There's no hurry. You'd really take your time noticing your little toes, ends of your toes, the backs of your toes. If you were to move your feet, wiggle your toes, and then let them come back to rest. Notice how far up in your body you feel that. It's not just the toes, it goes up into the feet and the lower legs, maybe even higher. And notice if there's anywhere else in your body that feels like a little movement or a little stretch would be good. For some relaxation practices, it's really kind of a bit disturbing to the energy, to the relaxation if we move. But for something like this, it's not. But mostly we have this feeling like when we're relaxing, we should try to be still. And that's true for the most part. But we can also break that rule if we want. Oh, this part of my body feels movement would be nice. And then we let ourselves do that. We let the body come back to stillness and we notice again the whole body. What's going on in the space that the body is occupying right now? And when you bring your attention back to your breath, notice the rhythm, pace. If you're holding your breath, if it's gotten softer, slower. Generally, when we're relaxing, that's what happens. But sometimes maybe an anxiety thought stream has taken over and it's gotten tighter. We're just noticing. And for a moment, let yourself breathe as slowly as you can without it being uncomfortable. So, fairly full inhale and then a long, long, long exhale. And don't let it get to the point where you're gasping for breath, but see if you could let your breath really take its time on the way out. And if your mind is zipping around, ask it to rest for a moment as well. Just for another minute to focus just on these long, slow exhalations. And then let your breath come back to normal, whatever it's wanting to do. Notice your whole body again. And set an intention that you'll return to this a few times today. Just noticing your breath, noticing if you're hurrying in your mind and your breathing. And then when you're ready, open your eyes.